Wall of Sound at Full Tilt in Melbourne, the festival that finally happened, and we have been waiting too bloody long, 2 years for Make Them Suffer to make the journey back and hit this stage again, and they've done it, and Sean Harmanis joins us, mate. Welcome back!
Woo! Thank you, guys.
How you feeling, man?
I'll be honest, that was pretty rough. You know, I've been going on runs, I've been going to the gym and stuff, but nothing quite prepares you for stage fitness. I think it's like an entirely different type of fitness, but nonetheless, man, it felt so good up there, seeing the crowd, and just feels, good to be performing again.
It was a beautiful thing being in the crowd, watching everyone, like, cheering again, putting their arms up again. I saw the smiles from everyone on stage, and you were lapping up every second. It is so good to have you boys back on stage again after so long. It's obviously... It's such a hard thing because for those who aren't in the know, Make Them Suffer is spread all across Australia. You're based in Perth, you got members in Melbourne, so you haven't been able to leave your own state and even do a couple of shows here and there kind of thing.
And Jayaz just lives in the country in Perth pretty much, like he's in 3 or 4 hours drive from Perth as well. So yeah, we're all estranged from one another. I hang out with J-Man on the reg, we catch up quite often, but as far as that goes, it was just, this show I think more than just like playing the show in terms of a career sense or to benefit our career. It was just more about like kind of getting together and feeling that feeling again of being on stage and performing together and jamming together and hanging out as friends. That's what it was about for us, I think, more than anything. And it was so good to be able to feel that again and feel like, holy shit, I'm in a band. Whoa.
Exactly that.
It was really nice to see you guys back on stage again, and obviously it's been like 2 years since How to Survive a Funeral came out, and you were able to just play on stage some of those songs for the very first time. Yeah. Is that weird?
It was weird. I definitely, I feel, I wish we were able to play more, but we were playing in strange circumstances this time around, and I'm actually really, there's some of my favorite songs like in our discography by a country mile, so I'm very excited to be able to bring more of them into the set. But certainly, the songs we did play, felt great, and it's a breath of fresh air being able to play some new songs once we haven't played for hundreds and hundreds of shows and tours and all that sort of stuff. So very cool.
Because it's such an incredible album. Like, myself being a passive Make Them Suffer fan, Ricky actually got me onto you guys through Vortex. This was the first album I loved from start to finish, and it was so impactful the way that it hit when the pandemic hit. It got us through the hard times, and now we're finally seeing a couple of these it's a bit of disbelief, to be honest with you, like the fact that this album's been out for so long and now we're finally hearing the songs live for the very first time. Like, you boys have obviously been sitting on this album for so long because these songs are so old. So for you, do you lose that connection, or when you're on stage singing those words, did it all come flooding back again?
No, I don't think we've lost any connection with the words and the feelings of the song. It was a really important album for us, and it was an album where we were able to, I guess, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Express ourselves through. It was kind of like airing out our dirty laundry in a way. So it's great to be able to finally play those songs and sing those lyrics, which I did kind of slave over during the writing process of the album, and it's a breath of fresh air and a nice change from playing the stuff we usually play, for sure.
That's awesome. And now that the McGowan Iron Curtain is down, do we think that we can actually get a How to Survive a Funeral Australian tour?
Well, we hope so. I mean, there's definitely, that's in the works. We would like to do that. It also this year happens to also coincide with the 10-year anniversary of Neverbloom, our first album. So we're trying to figure out what we're going to do this year, because realistically, to kind of book all the time off work and stuff that we need to do, it's not going to be realistic that we're going to be able to do both. So we have to kind of pick and choose and figure out what the right balance is there, or what shows we're going to play and what tours we're going to do. So it's all very much in the air, but I definitely would say that we will be playing a How to Survive a Funeral album tour before this album cycle comes to an end. So
I love that. I'm hearing 2 tours actually, Browny. I'm hearing.
I'm picking up those vibes as well.
You're picking that up as well. Good.
I mean, well, you've been locked away from the rest of the country for 2 years, and everyone has been waiting with bated breath to see you guys again. Evidence was that the amount of people that rocked up to see your shows to scream these songs again. When it comes to getting back out there again, are you going to test the waters and just stick to Australia, or do you want to hit the streets and get across the world again?
I think at the moment it's just about we have to find our feet, and I think we have to play to the markets that we know will be receptive to us. And so I think we're going to be hopefully doing a lot of Australia. In the past we have had a little more luck in the States, so that's probably higher on the cards at the moment than Europe, but we do want to eventually get back out there and hit all the international markets that we had been touring previously. So
and the supply and want and demand is still there, because as Wall of Sound's grown, we're dealing with international readers who are coming from all across the world. And anytime you mention the greats of Australian metalcore, Polaris, Make Them Suffer, Alpha Wolf, everyone internationally wants to see you all venture over to their side of the world. But we're not keen to let go of you just yet, because we've been waiting 2 years for this fucking music. So as much as I love everyone who's who jumped on the bandwagon for Wall of Sound and helped us out, like, we really want to see these guys first before.
We're going to stay in Australia for a while.
Please, like, even if you have to sleep in my lounge room on my couch, I will put you boys up just so I can hear these songs again.
That'd be awesome, man. Yeah, hell yeah.
So after you've stayed on Browny's couch, anyway, I really enjoyed Contraband. I thought that was such an awesome single. I remember the premiere on Triple J. I was absolutely loving it. And what I noted was that was your first sort of guest feature, and it had Courtney LaPlante from Spirit Box, which was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Would you do another collab coming up?
It's always been a thing with albums where we've kind of... We've been a little bit disorganized, and there's been I think for like in Worlds Apart, I think I reached out to some people for the potential of them doing guest vocals, and then it was just kind of like came down to us finishing the songs and me finishing my vocal parts more than bringing in other people and having to work around all that. So I think with Contraband we had a bit more time, we were a bit more organized, and we couldn't think of a better fit, honestly, than Courtney, and we were so happy that she wanted to do it, and it was great, getting to know her on the tour that we had. I think it was actually the last tour, right before, like literally halfway through that tour was when COVID hit, and we got sent home halfway through that European tour. So we were absolutely stoked to have her on the track, and I think in the future we'd love to do some more features for sure. Yeah.
And it was a great way that you guys did the video, because obviously with COVID restrictions and stuff, you're separate or whatever, and you had her on the little telly there and stuff, but it worked so well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I don't know if many people noticed, but like J-Man, our drummer, I don't think was featured in the video either, because it was just it was too expensive to like bring the drum kit over, and it was so it's just was it just me and Nick, or was Jaya in it? I can't remember. I think it was just Nick and I. It was really weird.
It's all been a flash, from when it came out to where we are now to what the future holds for the band. I wanted to take this conversation on a completely different path, because I'm very opinionated, and I like to fucking have my own way. But
here we go.
You've been a very busy man in Perth, Sean Harmanis, not only with Make Them Suffer, but your new side project Onslow, which opens up a completely different range of fans to check out your capabilities. And
you might be sitting across from one of your biggest fans.
And you have this voice that you've been hiding underneath all that demonic growls that we didn't know about. Where did this come from? How did this project come out with the vocals that you're delivering on this, and how is it different to Make Them Suffer,
I think just when you're in a metal band, like, it's nice having some music that you can go back to kind of like listen to chill out. And I kind of grew up on a lot of grunge bands like Smashing Pumpkins and stuff like that. They were some big ones for me, and so I think for me it was just about having another outlet, and it was a great outlet during COVID as well. I was living in Melbourne before COVID. COVID hit. I lost my job over there, wasn't able to pay for rent. I moved back to Perth, moved in with my mum, and I was like, all right, Mum, I'm just gonna chill at your place for the first 3 months and just smash out an EP real quick. And that's literally what I did.
Real quick.
And so, it was something that I'd wanted to do for ages, and I'd been writing bits and pieces here and there. And I'd also been trying to work on my singing, clean voice or singing voice. And it was quite interesting, actually, because for a lot of Make Them Suffer tracks, when I would write the melodic parts, the clean sections for previous members, whoever was going to be singing them, I would, I'd sing them out. And so I think through that, when you're writing something, I'd be just kind of jamming over the track and singing different melodies and working out this sounds good for my voice, but that's not necessarily going to sound good for hers. And I used to get really frustrated. And I was thinking, I understand how my voice works, so...
Shit, I can sing!
Yeah. I know the notes that sound good for my voice, I guess. Yeah.
So I guess, moving forward with everything that's going on in the world and the band, would we be seeing you doing the dual abilities, the unclean screams with Make Them Suffer and the clean stuff?
I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I think like maybe sprinkled in there. It's all so much in the air. We have no idea what's going on at the moment. I think right now our main goal is to just, have a strong friendship and stay together and get as much writing in the instrumental and screaming vocal department as possible, and just see what happens. We're not exactly sure what the next step is in terms of lineup or anything like that, but yeah.
Given that it's been a bit of a tumultuous time for Make Them Suffer, through your history you've kind of gone from this sort of never bloomed deathcore band to more of a more contemporary metalcore band, and I've sort of seen that transformation with Old Souls being kind of the bridge, I guess. With some, trying times at the moment, do you think that you might explore the sort of deathcore side again?
Well, I think we're trying. I don't know if it's going to be deathcore, but I think we're trying to get heavier. I'm always pushing for like a heavier sound. Just so like any of you old fans out there, like I'm always pushing for a really heavy sound. Okay, I always want more breakdowns, tune it down lower, whatever it is. But yeah.
So we'll give Will Ramos a run for his money in Lorna Shore then.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I can't make those sounds. Man.
No one can. We think he's a demon.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's possessed.
That's the only explanation. All right, so looking forward, you want to get back out there. You want to tour the world. You want to tour Australia. Contraband was the first new song we heard. Obviously, some new material in the bank. Will we be hearing something soon?
I hope so. Before the end of the year. Yeah, I'm confident that before the end of the year. Yeah, so... Yeah.
So it's an exciting time to be a Make Them Suffer fan, because they're back and we're no longer suffering, so we'll just make love and peace with each other. Sean Harmanis from the band at Full Tilt, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for stopping by. As always, we love you.
Thank you, guys.